So, I'm making another video about something that I thought would be behind me. I'm on the road to being fired again, terminated again. And the worst part is that this time around, we didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming. I honestly didn't see this coming. Now, let me get a recap. So, hi, I'm Dr. PK. Welcome to my channel, Molo Molo Africa Tech Studios. I'm an aerospace engineer. Working in Germany for the past almost 5 years, and yet the last couple of months have been hell on earth. Working for a company called Lilium. So let me give a bit of recap. October last year, to be fair, much earlier than that. And to be honest, I don't really know what the title of this video will be. I thought about poor leadership and fired again. I don't know. We'll see what happens. October last year, early October, we got notice that Lilium will be filing for insolvency due to cash flow issues and inability to raise funds required to keep operations afloat. And essentially what that meant is that for the next 3 months, October, November, December, we were on the path of complete liquidation unless a new buyer was found. December 20th, we were given, and I'll put a link on that. I made another video regarding essentially being fired from Lilium, or at least my termination contract being essentially imposed. And 20th of December was the date for which the termination was given. And of course, between 20th of December and 24th of December, I was unemployed effectively, or serving my notice period, as for those who want to be more technical. 24th of December was the quote-unquote miracle of Lilium, where a bunch of investors under the Mobile Uplift Consortium, MUC, I think is called, came to the rescue of Lilium's and Lilium in general, and were given notice to the insolvency proceedings that indeed Lilium will be rescued. And so we should look forward to an amazing Christmas, an amazing New Year, and a restart that would essentially bring a new era of Lilium 2.0. But throughout all this time, there was still a sense of stability, right? We were paid our salaries for, albeit late, for October was paid in, I think in November, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, November was paid correctly and everything was anticipated. So, kind of given the situations, we knew what was coming, and to be fair, we kind of knew that was going to come. And so with that, there was a sense of stability within the uncertainty that brought insolvency brought on the situation. Come December, we at least were given notice that indeed we should now prepare ourselves to come back in early January, and we will meet these new famous investors. And with that in mind, we should now gear up for a new Lilium, a new name, same name, different objective, however you want to call it. And we got congratulations and So we were still under termination. So we got given over the next few weeks in January, everything restarted, albeit, I made even a post about that, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, right? But at the same time, there was a quiet sense of optimism that indeed we will be carrying on. So we went back to work. And I think to be honest, I was never convinced, but you know, hindsight is 2020, as they say. And so I proceeded to, as a company, I think, we proceeded to start making plans, given a reduction of workforce, given a reduction of scope, given a reduction of X, Y, and Z. So you can imagine, there was a sense of planning and fighting for kind of the next few months of what would be a really difficult journey. But at the same time, there was a sense that, okay, there's a lot of money that needs to be paid in terms of backlog, suppliers, salaries, claims for those who were not paid their top-ups. And that was the first sign. Those who earned a certain amount of money above what the insolvency could be actually allocating were not given that money. I was not one of them. I'm not earning enough, I guess. So that was the first sign. Sign number one, that indeed, there will need to be a backlog and a backfill from a financial perspective. But what happened thereafter in the next couple of weeks was not really well understood. Come mid-January, there was no indication that, one, the money will come through. There was only an indication that it will take time. And so, like a good child to a believing and a forthcoming parent, you just believe. And we believed and we waited. Come the next few weeks, leading up to end of January, there was now a series of meetings implicating that indeed the process was more difficult in terms of transfer of money than initially thought, that we should still be very much in a comfortable situation, that we've reduced our cost basis, that we've reduced X, Y, and Z, that it was just a matter of transaction, a transactional hiccup, as they say. Come end of January, salaries were not paid. Yes, it's coming. We have experienced this already in October. So to some extent, we were believing. But at the same time, given the optimism that was given, we thought it's just a transactional issue. Fool me twice. Shame on me. Maybe that will be the title of this video. Fool me twice. Because what happened after that was complete and utter failure from a communication perspective. We were strung along from end of January until today. We are end of Feb. And today, literally 10 minutes, 20 minutes from recording this video, Lilium put us all online and told us we are going through liquidation again. And this time around, all our pens is down, because not only do we now need to scurry to the unemployment agency on a Monday, today's Friday, but we now are playing catch up on invoices that we thought would be resolved by the good news that will happen, given that this was just a transactional problem. Everybody is playing catch up, or everybody has a knock on their savings or their shares portfolio, including myself, and potentially not enough reserves for the next few months to come. Of course, with the indication, according to them, from this meeting, that indeed the insolvency money, as per October, November, December, should just be a formality, given our application and them letting the unemployment agency know of everything that has transpired up to now. What a story. I mean, so I've got a couple of points that I thought about. My head is spinning. As you can imagine, my head is spinning. I'm like, you could not have messed this up more. This is first world Germany. Like, I come from Africa. This is worse than an African country's story of corporate going rogue. This is like Mafia 101, man. Crazy. So anyway, I've got a couple of points that I wanted to share. And this is all about leadership. I read a stat the other day that 86% of employees believe that communication is the number one reason for the failure of a company. And the failure in this case, meaning that people's livelihood have completely shattered. To the point where there was an article, and I'll put up, kind of a screenshot, that basically says that, and then it goes on about giving essentially what I've just said, but what was striking is just people are having a go crowdfund me, I think it's called, for raising money for groceries for Lillian's. This is Germany. Or am I wrong? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've got a different perception of what Europe should be like. I don't know. Somebody on the comments below, if you have experiences like this, please tell me, because I am completely lost. I thought we are coming to a more stable economically country and region, specifically Bavaria. What's going on? That people are in need of a crowdfunding to go to Edeka to buy bread. As a fully fledged employee with social benefits that should get money that is due to them, but it's just not coming. What a load of nonsense. Poor leadership is, in my view, the real reason why we are here. I'll say it again. Disgusting leadership is the reason why we're here. And specifically in relation to not everything else. I don't pretend to know what happened and who did what, but purely on just communication. Communication is the reason why we are playing catch up with landlords, with invoices, with school fees, with aftercare, with groceries. Every single one is playing catch up unless you were in a very good financial situation. But most people who have kids are essentially 2 to 3 months away from being in panic mode. That's me, literally. So what now? I mean, we can't even talk about erosion of trust. Trust is broken. It's finished. The company supposedly is now going through a point of no return liquidation phase. I mean, to be fair, emotionally, I had moved on already. I don't know what this video is supposed to be. I guess it's a bit of a rant in a way. It's happening raw. It's happening now. It's happening live. It's happening here. It's happening with me, with others who are potentially shell-shocked and, pouring a bottle of whiskey, a glass of whiskey and downing it just to calm the nerves, because life for the next couple of months is going to be really hard. Now, I think that one needs to remember that we are professionals. What does that even mean at this time? We need to provide for our families. We need to give hope to each other as leaders, as people who believe in the glass being half full and not half empty, to try and find some level of leverage to go move forward. But I do think that this is a hard time. Fool me twice. Shame on me. If this finds you in a bad place, share your thoughts. Let's process it together. I'm dealing with it. I've got plans, of course. I've always had plans, but these are infant stage plans. They are nowhere near ready for the barrage of hardship that is potentially on its way. So it's going to be tough. But at the same time, Lillian was always a tough place that if you had been there for a couple of years, you would know. This was going to be tough. And now, potentially tough without Lillian as a workplace to be. Anyway, I just thought I should share my thoughts. I think that the number one thing is just communication is such. I mean, that's why I do this coaching. Technical communication. Communicate complex ideas in a simple way. Tell us exactly what's going on. And if you don't know, be honest enough to say you don't know. And you do want to give us the benefit of the doubt, to at least have the time and the place and the latitude to make our own decisions financially on where we should go. I'm Dr. PK. This is Molo Molo Tech Studios. Another raw podcast. It's supposed to be a walk and talk, but just sit and rant. Speak to you soon. Ciao.